Are you worried about packing on a few pounds this holiday season, but you're just not the gym working out type of person? Well, go ahead and pop in one of these movies, If I Stay or The Fault in Our Stars, and we guarantee that the amount of calories you're gonna burn with your uncontrollable ugly crying is the workout you need for the rest of the year. But which of these two teenage tragedies wins for the most hardcore, depressing experience of 2014? Well, you're gonna have to help us decide while I break these down. But let me be super duper clear, you guys. There are some major spoilers up ahead, so don't watch this if you haven't seen either one of these movies. All right, first up, Fault in Our Stars. It's so sad. Why is it so sad? TFIOS is the love story of teenagers Hazel, played by Shailene Woodley, and Augustus, played by Cutie Pie Ansel Elgort. Cue the first emotional blow. Hazel is dying of thyroid and lung cancer and agrees to go to this Teens with Cancer support group because her mom wants her to, where she ends up meeting Augustus, an 18-year-old former basketball player who lost his right leg to cancer. Cue the second emotional blow. These two go on this very unconventional journey of love together. Augustus is a charmer and is clear about his feelings for Hazel right off of the bat. But Hazel has her guard up. But when she eventually lets herself fall for Augustus, I really kind of maybe thought this movie could have a happy ending. Obviously, I didn't read the book. So Hazel and Augustus take this trip to find out what happens at the end of Hazel's favorite book, An Imperial Affliction, where they end up in Amsterdam to meet the author of the book. Their trip to Amsterdam is beautiful and perfect, which usually means in movie worlds that something bad is about to happen, and it does. Up until this point, I just knew this was gonna be like a Walk to Remember Part 2, where Hazel is gonna lose her battle with cancer, and I was just mentally and emotionally preparing myself for this, but plot twist, at the end of their amazing vacation, Augustus sits Hazel down and tells her that his cancer is back, and it pretty much has taken over his entire body, and things take a big turn. Cue emotional explosions, you guys. Gus is sick. He's really, really sick. And after a trip to the hospital, his mom tells Hazel that they're gonna stop the chemo. And the rest of the movie is just as depressing as you can imagine it is, with Augustus losing his battle to cancer and Hazel losing the love of her life. Yep, if you're anything like me, you cried the hardest, ugliest, gargoylest looking cry you've ever conjured up in your whole entire life. Seriously, this is not fun. But TFIOS isn't the only Debbie Downer movie that we hate to love. There is another contender. I'm gonna pull myself together for the most depressing teen movie, and that is If I Stay. If I Stay stars Chloe Grace Moretz as a teenage cello prodigy named Mia, who falls in love with the angst-filled high school guitar-playing heartthrob Adam, but her aspirations towards cello greatness could possibly take her across the country to study at the very prestigious Juilliard, and could take her away from the love of her life. Well, they break up because they just can't see it working out long distance, and the very day that Chloe's character is supposed to receive her letter to determine her fate with Juilliard, she and her whole family get into this devastating, tragic car crash that ultimately kills everybody in her whole family with the exception of Mia. She's in a coma, fighting for her life, you guys. All the while, her spirit remains in the hospital, looking on her surroundings, trying to decide whether or not she's gonna live or she's gonna die. And if she dies, she'll be able to see her family again on the other side, which is super sad, but totally understandable if I was in her position. However, if she lives, she will not only have a future with her boyfriend, who promised to never leave her again, although I don't know if I believe him, but also a future at Juilliard, because she did, in fact, get into the school. So right at the end, before going straight to black, the last scene plays out with finally Mia opening her eyes, coming out of the coma to see her boyfriend looking down at her. So she lived, but even still, it's gonna be an extremely rough journey to get back to her health and to get through the tragic loss of her entire family. So which tragic love story was the most depressing of 2014? I'm kinda on the fence here. If I Stay has a quasi-happy ending since Mia got to live out her life, but she would have to do so without her family that she loved so much, which I can't even imagine how hard that would be. But then there's The Fault in Our Stars, where Gus didn't make it out alive, and not only does Hazel have to deal with losing the love of her life, but she has to continue to fight her terminal cancer alone. You guys, I hate to be such a Debbie Downer here, but I gotta know, which of these movies tugged on your heartstrings the most this year? The Fault in Our Stars or If I Stay? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, to find out which 5 movies are at the top of our must-see list in 2015, which are hopefully not big downers like these, click right here for that. Oh, and since you're here, you might as well subscribe to Clevver News so we can keep you in the know of all things movie-related. I'm Erin Robinson. I'm gonna have to have a drink. See you guys later.